Good afternoon, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Daniela Strudi, and welcome to our afternoon edition of FSU weather. So right now we're tracking Hurricane Helene. A new update from the National Hurricane Center has it dropping to 960 millibars with maximum sustained winds of 105 miles per hour. And check out here, moving north-northeast at 14 miles per hour. So it's continuing to speed up and moving closer to the peninsula. And thankfully for us, this is going to be a fast-moving hurricane. However, there is a lot of threats to go into it. Here's a recon. Hurricane hunters just recently went in again, recording the wind speeds from the outside, 31 miles per hour on the outskirts of the storm, and surface pressure again at 962 millibars. Here is the cone so far. Right now it is a Category 2, still planning to enter the Big Bend region sometime this evening, probably around the 7-8 o'clock time frame. Winds are expected to be around 120 miles per hour, but we can see roughly, give or take, more or less of that towards the Big Bend region. And even to get a little close up of the cone, we can see it's expected to make landfall somewhere between the Apalachicola, coastal Wakulla County area, all the way as far east as coastal Taylor County. And these wobbles east to west can vary throughout the day today, and we're going to watch this closely as it makes closer to landfall tonight. And here's a look at some of the models. So the clear black cover here is the track from the National Hurricane Center, and every other color in here represents different types of hurricane models, and a lot of them are trending to more the east into coastal Jefferson, coastal Wakulla, coastal Taylor County as well. We still have a couple that do see coming into coastal Wakulla County and straight through the Tallahassee area. Regardless if it even ticks farther east, yes, the wind threat in Tallahassee can decrease, but it's not going to be eliminated, and that's what we will get into very shortly. We will still have a severe wind threat going forward, but now we can roll on into the warnings.
Yeah, thank you, Daniela. So looking at the warnings here, you can see that, well, here is the hurricane, 11 a.m. advisory, 105 miles an hour, as Daniela said. And just one moment as we get the graphics back working again. We'll show you what these hurricane warnings and watches are looking like. And most of the peninsula is under hurricane and tropical storm warnings. So hurricane warning extending from Pasco County along the coast and then heading inland all the way into Georgia. And all of the Big Bend area and some parts of the Panhandle are under this hurricane warning. It is a very large storm, and so it is very large wind fields, and a large area is going to see these hurricane force winds, even going well inland. And as you can see, the entire peninsula of Florida is still under a tropical storm warning. So you have to make sure that you are finding safety no matter where you are in Florida. And we also have tornado watches and warnings throughout the state as well because of the threats of those outer bands that are going to be moving through the area. And we do currently have a tornado warning in northwest Liberty County. So if you are under that tornado warning, you need to make sure that you get to an interior area of your home. If you don't have an interior area without windows, go into your bathroom, into the bathtub, put a mattress over your head. That is the safest place you can go during one of these tornadoes. And you can also see this peak storm surge forecast is another huge threat that we're looking at with Helene. So up to 8 feet of storm surge south of Tampa Bay, including Tampa Bay. And then as you get up towards the Big Bend area, you could see storm surge up to 20 feet in areas like Cedar Key, Cross City, St. Mark's is going to be massive storm surge. This is very life-threatening. And thankfully, that's not going to go super far inland, but it is a huge threat for areas that are along the coast. And so that is something that you need to be aware of. We do have evacuation orders, mandatory evacuation orders throughout multiple coastal counties in Florida. We have mandatory evacuations in Wakulla, Liberty, Franklin, Taylor, and Dixie counties. And we also have mandatory evacuations for manufactured homes and mobile homes further inland, and also some voluntary evacuation orders for other counties as well because of this massive wind and storm surge threat. There is also a threat of some heavy rain that we're going to talk about in just a moment with Matt.
Yeah, so as we look at the precipitation, well, actually, as we look here at the wind radii right now, as you can see here, there's a lot of strong winds at the center of this storm, but it does extend outwards here all the way out into the Fort Myers and Tampa areas. They are seeing some of those gusts right now, but close to the storm is where a lot of that wind radii, a lot of those stronger winds are focused right now. But as we look at the maximum wind gusts here coming in for the Big Bend region, we're going to see up to 102 miles per hour in Perry. So there is going to be some extreme gusts in this area, which is what we are concerned about with the wind right now, as it will be pushing through later tonight, which can be very dangerous at night because you will not be able to see it, and it can come at any moment. So be aware of those gusts. Make sure you have taken your shelter and precautions, as it will be strong. And as we move in, the wind will start dying down a little, but there still is some really strong gusts. 55 out in Valdosta as it pushes to the north, and still near the 40s here in the Big Bend. So make sure you're staying aware. Make sure you're taking your precautions. It is not going to be a safe time to be outside, so make sure you are indoors and you are bunkered down. If we look at the rain forecast, right, the precipitation through Friday, close to 4.5 inches here in Tallahassee, and in some areas going to get closer to 5 at times. But that is the forecast. You could get more rain. It just depends on the track of the storm. So make sure you are taking precautions. And we have already had quite a bit of rain. So make sure that you're aware there could be some flash floods. Make sure you're taking your precautions and you're staying inside until it is clear, because that rain can just sit there and pile up, and then the floods can come. So be aware of that. Make sure you're taking your precautions and understanding that there will be some rain as well as the wind, which can make it considerably worse. As we look at the future radar here, as it lifts to the north here, it's going to push all the way through Georgia up until that Tennessee area, where it's going to bring a lot of rain to that St. Louis, Cincinnati, as well as Nashville. Will get some rain as well. So be aware of those storms. Be aware of that rain that's pushing through here as it continues to move to the north. So make sure you're taking precautions, not just in Florida, but as well in Georgia and Nashville, as well as the Carolinas, as there will be some strong storms, and those outer bands will be giving you rain before the storm arrives. So be aware of those flash floods and the wind that will be coming with it. As we continue to see it pushes through to the north, it's going to stick around in that Memphis, St. Louis area, so there could be some flash flood advisories coming at some point because of the rain just sitting there and adding to what will already be a lot of rain for those areas. And it will continue to push here into Cincinnati before it looks like it'll start dying out, but there's a lot of rain with this storm for those areas that will sit there. So if you are located in those areas or know people in those areas, make sure they're taking precautions and safety, as there will be a considerable amount of rain for those areas. We look here at Doak Campbell Stadium. For the rain and thunderstorms we're going to have here, you're going to see that it will be thunderstorms right now today. It will start picking up as we get closer to nighttime with the winds picking up, but there will be rain. It is not a good time to go outside. Make sure you are indoors, you are bunkered down with your emergency supplies, and you are prepared. And as we look at Shell Point Beach here, it will also be rainy and thunderstorm with the winds picking up as the storm comes ashore. So make sure you are safe. Make sure you are indoors right now. Now is the time to hunker down before this storm arrives and before it is too late. So make sure you have all your supplies, you are ready to go, and make sure that you are good to go. And I'm going to pass it off to Ryan here as we look at St. George. What is that going to look like?
Yeah, so St. George, you guys are kind of right in the track of landfall. This is going to be a camera we're going to want to pay attention to, especially this lighthouse, because this is kind of like right in the path as Helene is coming on shore right now. We do have thunderstorms, 77 degrees. It feels like 78 right now. 7-mile-per-hour winds, so not too bad quite yet. If you guys are in, coastal counties, you just have a little bit more time to get out, but that time is quickly fading. So you probably want to be making your way out of town already if you are planning on getting out. Taking a look at the radar, the tornado watch is in yellow. We've got areas all over, like kind of east of here, all the way down the state, up in the Georgia, South Carolina. They're all under this tornado watch. Taking a look at radar, we've got flash flood warning already going up near Carabao. And, we've been very drenched as an area already. And so just to add more to that, as this radar sweeps through, just adding more and more rain to what's already been a very, flooded or very drenched area. So flash flood warning for Franklin County, and that's going to be going until about 3 o'clock today. On top of that, we've already also had plenty of severe warnings, especially as we head further down the state. Doesn't look like the radar will pop in quite yet, but we've got plenty of energy in the atmosphere for, especially as the storm comes in. We're going to be wanting to pay attention to the right front quadrant, kind of the eastern side of the storm as it comes in. That's where the potential for tornadoes can come in. And then, of course, we'll be paying attention to You know, it looks like it'll be somewhere between like Wakulla and maybe into like Taylor County. That's kind of going to be where we're going to be focused on as the storm is coming in. So we'll have more updates throughout the day. We'll be here at FSU Weather throughout the day. We'll see you guys in a little bit with our next update, and then we'll go live full on later tonight. But stay with us and stay prepared. You can get all the latest information with us on Twitter, on Facebook. We'll be on Instagram as well, and then also on YouTube. If you subscribe, you can follow us and get notified when we go live. But we'll be here with you guys throughout the day, and then on the other side of this, we'll see sunny days ahead. But here's a look at radar as we take a break.